Hello and welcome to Minnesota Housing's Community Profiles webinar. My name is Jessica Deegan and I work in Planning, Research, and Evaluation for Minnesota Housing. In this brief refresher, I would like to introduce you to what's new in the Community Profiles this year and where you can get more help or further in-depth instruction if you are new to the tools. There are two content areas in the tools. There are data layers and details about specific RFP geographic priority areas, all within the Community Profiles. We have over 30 indicators from multiple sources that profile the social, demographic, and economic characteristics of households, the housing market, and employment as it pertains to the market for affordable housing. These individual data points are broken into 4 thematic categories. We have economy and workforce, which has jobs and unemployment type data, household demographics, containing information about the general demographic makeup of the communities, as well as 2 data themes on housing market. One specific to the rental housing market, which has details about rents, vacancy rates, age of housing, etc. And we also have homeowner housing market, which contains information about homeownership costs, rates, foreclosure data, as well as home sales prices and trends in sales prices. While we make the individual data elements available, for example, what's the median family income for Anoka County, we also classify all the data elements to compare relative ranking across the state. So most of our indicators, they're broken into 5 categories that will rank a census tract or a county based on whether it's in the top 20%, for instance, next 20%, or lowest 20% of that value. The other content area relates directly to the RFP applications and the geographic priority areas within them. Again, because these areas were defined during a qualified allocation plan that's a bit extended, and they do filter out to other RFP activities at Minnesota Housing, they are consistent between the program areas. So these priority areas include community recovery, which is a single-family priority area that focuses on housing markets that have older housing stock and slower price recoveries. Economic integration shows where there are moderate to high income areas close to jobs. Location efficiency provides details on proximity to transit. Note that the profiles contain detail only on the transit available in the Twin Cities Metro, Duluth, Moorhead, St. Cloud, and Rochester, so other fixed route transit in greater Minnesota and dial-a-ride details will need to be provided by the applicant. High need foreclosure areas show zip codes that have a high rate of foreclosure relative to the state. Our workforce housing priority areas show cities that have job growth or top job communities and have a buffer around them. Additionally, in single family for workforce housing, there is a layer on a large share of workforce that are commuting long distances. Finally, our preservation priority has several geographic priorities embedded within. These include job or household growth areas, as well as areas with a large share of lower income households who are cost burden, as well as affordable housing gap. We make the community profiles available through several mechanisms on our website. Our website offers an interactive mapping tool, several reports and methodology papers, PDF map series by county, raw data if you wish to obtain the data and use it in software packages on your own, and so forth. You'll find these on our homepage linked from the policy and research section at the top. Going forward, we are maintaining 2 versions of the community profiles on our website that correspond to the longer tax credit qualified allocation planning process. If you are scoring a tax credit or RFP application for this spring, you should use the scoring tools. To begin planning for next year's application or to access the most up-to-date information available in the profiles, you should use the planning data. The tools behave the same as the scoring tool. An important note here is that in early spring, the planning tools and data will migrate to the scoring tools as you begin to prepare for the spring application. And then the planning tools would turn whenever the next qualified allocation plan is approved by our board this month in late April. So what's new this year, really, if you're familiar with the profiles before, they're basically the same. There have been some shifts in priority areas and that sort of thing, but within the location efficiency priority area in particular, there was a substantial change with the addition of walk score. So here's where you would find in the self-scoring worksheet details about walkability. So you can get in the multifamily tax credit side 2 points with a walk score over 70, 1 point with a walk score between 50 and 69. So to get to walk score, you need to go to the walk score website at www.walkscore.com and enter in an address, and you would get a walk score back that you would print out then and include in your application. Where to get more help? So you can get more help on using the interactive map and identifying those RFP and qualified allocation plan priority areas on the website. See the help documents and guidance documents that are located on the Community Profiles website. In addition, on the website there will be an extended webinar that will get into further detail and provide some tutorials and interactive demonstrations of the tool. So with that, I want to thank you for reviewing this webinar. I appreciate the opportunity for telling you more about Minnesota Housing's community profiles and what's new in them this year. Please feel free to contact me as you're working on your applications if you have questions about accessing the data that you need.